Unnamed Memory episode 6. And this episode was kind of wild. It has so many things happening in it. I know normally, an anime like this will have, sort of all things happening all over the place. And this episode was not the exception. The reason I say this is because the last episodes were a little bit more tame, a little bit more calm. But this episode, like I said, was actually the opposite. It had from beginning to end a lot of, I guess you could say, shocking scenes. I mean, throughout the episode, I was very surprised by the things that were happening in it. It had so many shocking moments, so many revealing, surprising moments. And yeah, like I said, in general, it was actually a very good episode. Probably the best episode out of the ones we have had. And I think the episode will keep getting better and better as we move on. At least that is my hope, so yeah. But yeah, I guess the big thing that happened in this episode, out of all the big things, was Tinasha leaving Oscar. I don't think anyone expected that. I mean, we knew that probably something was going to happen between Tinasha and Oscar because, in the last episode, there was something indicating to that. Like I said, that there was probably something going to happen between Tinasha and Oscar. And yeah, I mean, it happened in this episode. The thing is that I didn't expect that to be that Tinasha was going to leave Oscar. I maybe expected something else, that maybe Tinasha was going to become evil or something like that. That maybe Tinasha was going to become, an unknown person or possessed or something like that. But I actually didn't expect her to leave Oscar. Maybe some of you did. And yeah, that was the biggest thing that came out of this episode. Although I have to say something, I didn't think she left because, she was angry at Oscar or because she didn't like him or because, she liked Lanak or something like that. Given by everything that happened in this episode, I don't think that was the case because the story that Lucretia told in this episode made it seem that Tinasha did that because she wanted revenge. At least that is my impression. I don't know what you all thought of that. I think that she did that because, she wants to get revenge on Lanak because, it was actually Lanak the one that destroyed her old kingdom. Yeah, technically speaking, it was her own powers that destroyed her kingdom. If he wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened. So yeah. So even though we see her friendly in this episode, I don't think it is because she likes him. I think it is because she's trying to maybe get close to him, maybe, sort of give the impression that she doesn't hold any grudge against him. So I think that is what is happening in this episode. Of course, I could be wrong, and maybe for some reason she does actually like him. I guess that is always possible, but I don't see it that being the case. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see for that to be revealed. And yeah, like I was saying, when she was, sort of, I guess you can say, going away, she sealed Oscar's, I guess you can say, defensive magic, and also transferred her pet or animal, whatever you want to call him, the dragon, because she knew that she was going to go away. At that moment, I didn't really realize that she was doing all of that because she was going to go away. Yeah, it was because of that. Another surprising thing that we saw in this episode was them kissing. I was actually not expecting that at all. I think it was actually Tinasha the one that kissed him, although it was not apparent in the episode. But I guess it makes sense now why she did it, because she was going to go away, of course. So yeah, now having that context in place, yeah, it makes sense that she did that. But at the time that I watched that, it was actually very surprising. I was, wow, that happened so suddenly. I wasn't actually, expecting that at all. So yeah, but now that we have the context, it makes sense because she maybe is thinking that she's not going to see him again. So yeah, I think she did that because of that. It was also mentioned when Oscar was speaking to his father that Tinasha was spotted in some of the cities that were empty. I don't know what that is trying to tell us. Maybe that is the episode trying to tell us that Tinasha is doing all of that because she's evil, she's killing people. But I don't actually think that is the case. I actually think it's the opposite. When you actually stop and think about it, I actually think she's doing that because maybe she's trying to rescue the people from being, killed and attacked from Lanak and his empire, Cusco. I think that is what is happening there. I could be wrong, of course. I think she's maybe transporting them to another place or something like that, because it was mentioned that the cities that she was spotted in were actually intact. There was actually no damage to the villages. So yeah, I think that is what she is doing there, and maybe that is also what Oscar thought. So that could be the case. Also, it was mentioned in the episode that Oscar became the king. It was sudden, but yeah, now apparently, Oscar is the king. So yeah, officially now he's the most powerful person of Larsas. So yeah, now he's not only the most powerful in terms of power, but also in terms of, diplomatic powers. So yeah, that was also very cool to see, I guess. And I guess the other thing that was clarified in this episode was that of Tinasha actually liking, Oscar. I think by this point in time, we all know that Tinasha does actually like Oscar. All the things that she did in this episode, her kissing him, her, sort of protecting him when Lana was about to, fight him, him. And also Lucretia mentioned that, yeah, I mean, she does actually like him. But yeah, that was all that happened in the episode. A pretty exciting episode. Definitely the best one we have had until now. I hope I didn't miss anything. There was so much things happening, I probably did. But yeah, I think I said pretty much the most important things. And yeah, you know when I'm seeing episode reviews, please subscribe to the channel. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, that will be everything by me. And I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.